Hello everyone, my name is Aiden Paul, Mobile Task Force Delta 7, codename Bookkeepers, and welcome back to another SCP document review. And the SCP we're reviewing today is SCP-7292, Object Class, Thaumiel. Special Exam Procedures. Formally, to ensure that respective SCP-7292 hosts do not lose their Thaumiel properties, it is imperative that they are not informed of their anomalous nature. However, to ensure their operation continues, Foundation assets should not interfere with the hosts themselves, instead focusing solely on containing any veil-breaking phenomena they may produce. Currently, as the previous statement has been stricken from the record, due to the recent rapid and intentional weakening of the veil, as well as the agreement between the O5 Council and the POI 368 Prime, the Foundation should under no circumstances interfere with any SCP-7292 host operations, instead aiming to aid them where possible. Description: SCP-7292 is a poorly understood global phenomenon that affects every single selfless or kind act a conscious being is capable of undertaking. Whenever any sentient or sapient entity willingly acts out of pure altruism instead of any other gain-focused motives, through an accidental chain of relation, they inadvertently cause the weakening of hostile beings that feed upon any form of human suffering. SCP-7292 is capable of having its own hosts, which take the form of individuals that are the primary heralds of selfless values in their respective time period, or groups thereof. It is unknown how many hosts have existed throughout history, but current estimates place it at a number between 10,000 and 50,000. It is believed that SCP-7292 acted as mankind's primary and most effective defense mechanism against hostile deific entities prior to the formation of normalcy-guarding organizations for over 300,000 years. And here we have Addendum 7292-1, abridged list of SCP-7292 hosts. In this order, it is period of operation, name, description, and notes. Roughly 300,000 to 240,000 BCE, POI 001-B, the Inventor, an ancient Fey goddess, sister, and enemy to POI 001-C, Queen Mab, an ancient and near infinitely powerful Fey reality bender monarch that ruled the Earth as the queen of the Fey Empire approximately 300,000 years ago, heavily implied to be the good counterpart to Mab's rule over the Fey Empire, focusing her actions on aiding her people and improving their lives, despite her sister's tyrannical rule. She died during the First Diaspora, the event that eventually led to Queen Mab's death and the fall of the Fey Empire, single-handedly allowed for the event to even occur, sacrificing herself for the cause of freedom. Roughly 1800 to 1200 BCE, GOI 691 ARC, the Freemen, a rogue sect of Sarkism that isolated itself from the faith's main current, believing that its actions following the rebellion that freed it from under the Deava Empire to be heavily unethical. Propagated cooperation between the Mechanites and Sarkites, attempting to aid those that chose working together over violence. See Of the Crimeless Traitors for more information. Perished during the First Occult War while attempting to stop the conflict from occurring. Despite its failure at its primary goals, it is responsible for preventing significant portions of the damage and deaths the war would cause without their intervention. In the present day, knowledge of GOI 691 is heavily censored by most neo-Sarkic groups and individuals. Roughly 270 to 343. Saint Nicholas, a Catholic GOI 194 and Eastern Orthodoxy GOI 206 saint, primarily known for significantly helping those in need near him and around the world. Despite his death of natural causes in 343, the legacy of Saint Nicholas's character and values are still maintained to this day, and are often imitated by various organizations and individuals, both paranormal and anomalous. See SCP-6483 for more information. 1864 to 1868, GOI 491-ARC, the Peace Walkers. A humanitarian movement born at the beginning of the Sixth Occult War, aided all wounded by the conflict, taking no part in the chaos that ensued because of the war, remaining a neutral party. Perished during the final battle of the war, previous to its disappearance. However, it prevented as much as 56% of the wounded as a result from the conflict from dying. Operating since at least 1870, ending threshold unknown. Kindness. An extremely poorly understood person, entity, metaphysical construct, or literary being responsible for bringing several people around the world the best end to their respective stories. The reports of kindness and its actions have led several Foundation personnel to part their ways with the organization and join other GOIs. Interestingly, however, none of them pursued any violent operations against the Foundation or any other normalcy organizations, instead aiming to focus their lives on upholding the legacy of kindness. 1909 to present day. GOI 386. Dr. Wondertainment. A group of anomalous toy makers focused on bringing joy and magic into the otherwise sad and dull lives of children, passing down the title of Dr. Wondertainment to the successors of its founder, Chester Williams. Due to the ongoing degradation of the natural environment, current political systems around the world, and the Veil Protocol as a whole, and in spite of the Foundation's promise to stop intervening with its operations, it is continuously losing its magic, instead focusing on producing mundane products. See SCP-445-EX for more information. Notes are not available. See below. Addendum 7292-2. POI 386 Prime 4 Interview. Judy Papel, aka Dr. Wondertainment. Interviewer Abigail Hadfield, 05-8. Forward. Following the discovery of SCP-7292 and its Thaumiel properties, it was decided by a unanimous O5 Council that before another SCP-7292 host can be discovered, Dr. Wondertainment should not under any circumstances be allowed to go out of operation or lose its magic, as it would presumably result in the loss of significant protection against hostile entities. To discuss it, a private meeting between Judy Papel, the current holder of the title of Dr. Wondertainment, and O5-8 was held. Begin log. Miss Papel? Abby? Papel smiles. Upon hearing her name, O5-8 frowns slightly, before returning to normal moments later. I trust that you have been briefed by my colleagues regarding our recent discovery of what your company can do and does to our world. Yes? Papel energetically nods. Yeah! O5-8 appreciatively nods, too. Then she reaches into her document folder, trying to hand Judy a few papers. Excellent. If you'll forgive me for such rapidity in my actions, here are a few proposals we created together to make sure you can continue what? O5-8 squints her eyes patronizingly. Well, your organization is one of the primary shields against actual darkness out there, and as you said you were aware, so it would be only natural if we extended our agreement from simply idly allowing you to exist to active cooperation, would it not? Papel laughs warmly. You do not get it. Your discovery doesn't really change much. O5-8 scoffs. Pardon? You don't seem to understand. No, you don't seem to understand. See, here's the thing. Miss Overseer, we cannot accept your proposal to literally get funded by someone like you. We just can't. I'm sorry? No, I'm sorry. I know what you mean well, but, do you know what a selfish act is, Abigail? Upon another notice of her name, O5-8 tightens her lip, forcing a polite smile onto them seconds later. Enlighten me. It's an expression of some deep desire not to gain anything, but to help someone just because you want to, because you have to, because it feels right. Me, and Wondertainment as a whole, have always been about that, about bringing smiles to people's faces, and breathing a little magic into their lives, about kindness for the sake of just kindness and nothing more. That's what we've been trying to always do. Not whatever light versus dark voodoo magic crap you want us to do. It would just lose its point. Not sure I follow. If you were to hire us to somehow, support us with your money or spread our words through your ways or whatever you allow your 7292 to exist, instead for just the sake of it, it would no longer work. Because it wouldn't be about the smiles of the children or the love or kindness anymore. It would become a calculated cold shield. It just wouldn't be the same. Which means we would become useless to your cause. Another pause. 05-8 blinks thrice, sighs, and massages her temple. She throws her hands in the air. So, we're at a crossroads, are we not? Either allow you to do your thing and have no guarantee you will even remain as a protective figure, or try to ensure it and risk losing everything until your inheritor comes along? Judy nods sadly. I'm afraid so. -8 sighs again, leaning back into her chair, crossing her arms. So what the hell are we supposed to do? Papel's eyes flicker with excitement. I'm glad you asked. She grabs her own bag and starts to rummage through it, eventually grabbing some purple paper and her pen. She clicks it. I've got a few ideas to begin with. End log. Afterward. Following the above meeting taking place and Judy Papel sharing her proposals with the 05-8 overseer, they retreated back to Site-01, wherein she and the rest of the 05 Council proceeded to discuss them and their implementation to allow 7292 to persist in a controlled manner without neutralizing the anomaly. Update. 2 weeks following the meeting taking place, the 05 Council unanimously decided to amnesticize itself entirely regarding its contents, leaving only the document deciding their final decision in the SCP-7292 matter intact. Without understanding its context, the entire Council signed it, officially allowing it to pass into motion. Below attached is an excerpt from its copy. Proposal. Without any outside need to organize a Foundation-wide festival focused solely on granting its personnel proper relief from work stress, giving them time to socialize with their colleagues, allow friendly groups of interest and anomalous individuals to attend as well, treating them the same as the standard Foundation employees. 5 days later, the festival was carried out at Site-120 with the help of Site-55 and Wonder World personnel, chosen for its previous usage as an integration center. It had gone without any incidents or other issues, gaining its intended results even more than expected. Noteworthy is the fact that Judy Papel, Theowin Wilson, and other external individuals attended en masse, similarly causing no trouble. Curiously, however, the festival had one unexpected result. Following its finalization, Foundation oracles and farseers started seeing two possible futures, one in which the Foundation itself becomes a new host for SCP-7292 in the very far future, or a second one, wherein the Foundation causes 7292's neutralization. The significance of this, if any, remains unknown. The Site-120 Festival has been renewed for a second year, with plans forming for it to become an annual event. The organization of further events similar to this is currently ongoing. And that is it. Now, if you excuse me, I must go be amnesticized myself for finishing this document review. Thank you all so much for listening or watching, and my name is Agent Paul of MTF Delta 7, and I'll see you next week with another document review. Bye.